It's been right under our noses. I am Aaron. Welcome to the Call Cinema. And tonight, we're talking Vinegar Syndrome. Initially, I thought we were going to be doing a countdown video later on tonight for the whole Vinegar Syndrome unveiling for the big Black Friday uh, sale that they do. They have like titles that they tell you. And they usually do it usually at midnight, 1 a.m., somewhere around there. So normally what I do is, for those new to the channel, I go out there and I do a countdown. Hey there, Shadow. Welcome, man. It's been a while since I've seen you here. So I do a countdown basically before the sale unveiling starts. Hey there, Scotter. Hello. But unfortunately, they've changed the time. So rather than do it in the midnight hours, what they're doing is they're doing it in like 10 a.m. I prefer the midnight hours. That's just me. I'm weird that way. Hey there, Dick. But we got a lot to talk about today because we got a few things to unpack. Because they decided they wouldn't wait any longer. Hey there, Charles. Hey, everybody. Instead, what they do is they'd let us know and they'd unveil exactly what the mysterious VSU that they hinted at has been. Now, if you've been following my channel, you guys know that I talk a lot about Vinegar Syndrome. Hey there, Jay. And for a long time, we have been basically trying to figure out exactly what this VSU is. Did it mean Vinegar Syndrome Underground? Did it mean Vinegar Syndrome Unleashed? The sale, Jay. Well, they'll be doing the pre-orders for the sale on vinegarsyndrome.com at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And just to give you like exactly just so you can figure what time frame that is for you, I'm just going to go to Vinegar Syndrome right now. Thank you, Dick. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what they're revealing for this, they won't reveal everything. They'll keep something secret. But there's going to be a VSU title reveal. We're going to talk about what VSU is in a second. A big slasher announcement. I got one that I'm hoping for. And pre-orders are going to be up, so you're going to be able to pre-order the releases. They'll also give hints. Last year, when they did this, I think it was last year. I am doing laundry. I have to do laundry. See this? See this shirt here? This Superman t-shirt? This is because I'm out of t-shirts. So you're going to have to put up the laundry. Okay. Hey there, Dustin. So have you heard yet, Dustin? Has everybody heard yet what VSU is? Because we're going to unpack it. There's a lot to talk about. So this is what was said in the email that came out today. And I want to know your thoughts on all this. I know some of you guys here are probably Vinegar Syndrome. You're subscribers. Some of you guys may be newer to Vinegar Syndrome. This may be your first time checking them out. So we got a lot here that we can look into. And you're happy with the announcement? I'll just what my thoughts on the announcement in a minute. I'm intrigued. So the pre-orders for Vinegar Syndrome's Black Friday bundle starts tomorrow, the 25th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That goes until Sunday, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. After that, it'll close up again, and it'll open up once the sale starts. And it's not assured that basically you're going to be able to get it at that price at that time. They may maybe raise a bit. I'm not quite sure. So VSU, it's the one thing we've been all trying to figure out. We've all had ideas and thoughts, and kind of like, is this going to be like a new? Is it like going to be like almost like a film school type of label? Is this going to be? Is this going to be like a streaming service? Is it going to be like Vinegar Syndrome Unleashed, where they're going to have like really hardcore, like bloodier, like stuff that then we see like a gore zone, like a gore zone 2 Fangoria type of thing. Um, well, it was none of those. It was under our noses all along. And honestly, we probably should have figured it out. I especially should have figured it out. Over the last year, Vinegar Syndrome has had two major big announcements that resulted in a lot of publicity for the company, but not just that, also a lot of sales for the company as well. They went into 4K, and with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X on its way, a lot of people that weren't initially going into 4K now have a 4K system coming to their house and are probably getting a 4K TV. Uh, hey, it's Jay. Hey, Terry Dan. Because 4K TVs, let's face it, it's pretty much the norm now. They're cheap. It's when 4K TVs started out, people are like, I can't get into 4K. It's gonna be way too expensive. Now your regular TV at Walmart, most of them are 4K. Like you got to be looking at like in a really, hey, they're wrong, in a really kind of like lower section of Walmart at this point to find actually just 1080p TVs. They're mostly 4K TVs. Hey, welcome from China. I got the place right this time too, because I read it off there. So, this Tammy and the T-Rex was the first one they put out. It was followed by Rad. Viewer 4K discs, otherwise known as Ultra High Definition or UHD. VSU stands for Vinegar Syndrome Ultra. But it doesn't stop there. So it's 4K, but it's not just 4K. If you're what are the slip covers going to look like? Not sure yet. We'll find that out tomorrow. But it's not just that it's going to be 4K. Because if you're used to Vinegar Syndrome titles, you probably got a lot of the stuff that I got. Some of the cheeser stuff and the kind of the monster stuff, the fun stuff, the Don Doler, the slasher films like Splatter U, and stuff like that. If you came to like Vinegar Syndrome through getting Rad, you probably never knew what Vinegar Syndrome was before you heard that they were putting it Rad. And it did get a lot of new eyes, and it sold the most of any Vinegar Syndrome title ever. So what happened next is kind of expected. So you still are going to get like all your Vinegar Syndrome titles and box sets and all the cool stuff that we get right now, but VSU is going to be a home for, and I'm going to read it right off here so you guys, so there's no like misinterpretation, for future Rad type titles. They'll happen as they happen, like VSAs every once in a while. There's no schedule for them. They have a couple that they're working on. There's no set plans for when they're going to drop. These titles may not 100% gel with like deeper cuts, trasher offerings that Vinegar Syndrome devotees expect and demand. These saw an unexpected amount of diversity in response to the Rad release, ranging from excitement to confusion to disappointment. And over 8 years, Vinegar Syndrome has morphed and evolved, basically to satisfy their audience demands, while also trying to stay true to the original intent of being a home for genre films of all types, as long as they were shot on film, because you got to be able to do a good restoration on them. That had risk of being overlooked, forgotten, lost, anything that simply needed love that they weren't going to get elsewhere, whether that be a slasher title, an adult title, an underground title, or blaxploitation. Deadly Games, I guess, would be kind of like, sort of like a VSU, because it does follow, like, I guess going back, Rad and Tammy the T-Rex were the initial kind of like the test pilot for the VSU, And man, were they good test pilots. But not every film is for everyone. VSU titles are not, for the most part, going to be focused on sex and violence, which is not to say they won't include it. Hey there, Trini. They're not necessarily going to be art films or mainstream movies either. But instead, they'll straddle a line that's a bit more than what's come to be expected from Vinegar Syndrome. Now I'm going to open your comments because if I missed your comments, guys, I do apologize. I wanted to read that out first. I think they'll stick, hey there, Semitech, with doing a lot of the stuff that they're doing right now. This is just adding on to it. Vinegar Syndrome is growing exponentially as a company. They've put in other sub labels from Fun City, AGFA are two great examples of labels that have been brought in under the banner, like to be sold through there. The next VSU, well, I guess it'll be the first actual official VSU, Indy, is going to be announced tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which again is another thing unusual for Vinegar Syndrome because I think Vinegar Syndrome, I think a lot of films that fit the midnight movie mold, and so that really kind of excites me uh, with you know at like for late night ones. It works good for my channel. Yeah, VSU stands for Vinegar Syndrome Ultra. So they're going to be titles more like this. We don't know what the VSAs are yet, but there are two being announced tomorrow. I think they're announcing there's two VSAs coming in November. That's what I know for sure. So yeah, definitely no adult films in the VSU line. Hey, there's Cinema Dave. By the way, me and Cinema Dave, we're doing a video on Sunday together, so make sure you catch that out. I will be on Cinema Dave's Sunday live show, and I'm actually really looking forward to it. So this is different. If you're a fan of more of these straightforward releases, hey there, Ryan, of like a Vinegar Syndrome, if you want more Rads and Tammy and the T-Rexes, and you're hoping for more stuff along the lines of the maybe the 80s, like um, comedies or maybe like not quite action films. So it's not gonna Gleaming the Cube, for instance, Ragman. That sounds like exactly what Vinegar Syndrome would do for a VSU. That's what you're looking at. So for that type of stuff, I do not actually. I don't own Song South. But it's going to be different. So right now, they're also announcing a big slasher title tomorrow. So for those that aren't into Rad, there's a slasher one coming. So don't think that Vinegar Syndrome has given up or forgotten where their base comes from. But hey, Mr. Awesome, welcome. This became like their bread and butter. That became like super big for them. I expect it to be a more well-known title as something that may not have been on DVD for a while, but I'm expecting something from their MGM deal for their first VSU. So we're looking for more of like a straightforward type of film when it comes to this. Yeah, I like it, and I'm not quite sure. The part of me that likes it likes the fact that we're getting more 4Ks, uh, that we're getting more like ideally more 80s centric stuff that may have like fallen under the radar. My dream like title that I would hope if Vinegar Syndrome ever put it out, and I think a company had it but they haven't done anything with it, is a movie called Massacre at Central High, which desperately deserves and needs a big release. Um, Massacre at Central High is an excellent film and a favorite of mine. And I heard Synapse had it for a while, but I never did anything with it. Hey there, John. But that's what I'm hoping to see. Something along the lines of that. I'm okay with seeing something like Christian Slater and Gleam the Cube or Andrew Stevens. You're right. That is an Andrew Stevens film. I'm a huge Andrew Stevens fan. But I was hoping for that when Vinegar Syndrome went into their Ultra HD releases, that I'll be honest, I love both my Ultra UHDs, but I was kind of hoping for some more horror. I was hoping that we'd finally get some UHDs, some 4K slasher films. I I was hoping we'd get some more kind of UHD, kind of out there films, kind of stuff that's really taking the chance. Uh, Kind of like what Blue Underground is doing with their 4Ks, like Maniac and titles like that. Your daughter shares as a March 31st as well. Awesome, your daughter rocks. She gets extra cool points. Hey Dale, welcome. They did not announce any films yet, Andres. They just announced what the VSU was. The announcement is tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But they announced that VSU is Vinegar Syndrome Ultra, and that it's going to be more. Now I won't say mainstream, but they're not going to be like horror releases, or they're not going to be like not necessarily, and they're not going to be like releases. Uh, like they're going to be stuff like they're going to be things along this line. Um, so they're going to be more straightforward releases, like like the one that came out, even the one that came out that's coming out that I got pre-ordered. The that was called Deli Games. What's Dial something Santa? Yeah, they won't be cult releases. It's nine chances out of ten going to be something more along the lines of the MGM acquisitions that they've acquired. So you could see anything from I'm looking at my MGM titles over there um, that are more straightforward. I don't know. Class Class is an MGM title, right? Hey there, Richard. Now I'm not sure if like a movie like Class would be something, but it's an example of like not a mainstream film, but not exactly a an underground film either, so people would know it. Now they did say that this one here is going to be probably their biggest announcement for a film. Now previously their biggest announcement was Rad. So I think when they're saying biggest announcement is that we're going to be talking about the fact that it's going to be announcements that are more well known. Now, this the slasher one is supposed to be big as well. Like somebody said that the slasher one could be Home Sweet Home because big could huge because they said huge and that could be like like kind of bodybuilder huge. I personally would hope, and I'm really hoping, hey there Kubrick, that He Knows You're Alone is a better chance uh, than uh, than Home Sweet Home. Home Sweet Home is fun, and I would definitely buy it. But He Knows You're Alone or Girls Night Out more needing of releases right now. But you never know. Vinegar Syndrome can really, really surprise you sometimes. This surprised me. So I want to stop for a second and kind of just like, get my composure. But I want to know your thoughts on this. So let me know right here, right now. Are you excited about the VSU titles? Do you have some dream titles that you're hoping comes into VSU? Are you disappointed about the VSU titles? You think Home Sweet Home needs a better release? I think it does too, but I really want one of those other two titles. Like I'll be okay with Home Sweet Home. It's a fun film, but I haven't seen He Knows You're Alone since the freaking VHS days. So I want that damn title. Um, just put that out there. Um, because like a lot of these movies, like I didn't get on DVD. That You excited about the new announcements, Ken? Dale's not too excited. Hanks as well. Hanks has a small but really pivotal like sequence in the film because he knows you're alone has this like sort of it has this like monologue by Hanks, and it's really good, and it stands out, and it's like one of those times when you at the theme park exactly when you see and you hear Hanks talking, and you can honestly say, yeah, I can see this guy's going to be big, just from this like small little monologue. Uh, like when I watched it, I was like, this guy's going places. Hey there's Sumo. So Dustin's excited. Just getting to the brand as well. Well, Dustin, I'll be here. I'll be doing a video tomorrow night probably. My better half's birthday's tomorrow, so it won't be in the daytime or it'll be later in the evening. If it comes earlier, I'll let you guys know. We'll talk about that. Any news on Volume 2 of Forgotten Jallo? Well, Blu-ray Hoarder, there is a box set coming in November. Some people think that it could be Forgotten Jallo. Thank you, Josephine. Uh, Other people think that it might be a Howling set. As much as I want a Forgotten Jolly set Volume 2, I prefer that their next box would be a Howling set. That's what I'm hoping for. Killer Party is a strong possibility, Ken. See, I don't like to go for made on demand stuff. So that's why yesterday why I wouldn't go for like the made on demand stuff. See, Howling set will be incredible. That's what I would really like to see them do. They almost did it actually when they were doing the Amityville one. Have I? I think I have, but I don't remember. It's been a week, guys. It's been one heck of a week. My better half had such a rough day today at work. She's just like resting up. Well, it's her birthday tomorrow, actually. Uh, her she'll be 20 tomorrow. We'll go with that. No, it's her birthday tomorrow. She's September 25th. I think somebody here has like has their somebody in their family's birthday is September 25th. Happy birthday to your brother, Kubrick. But you guys better say happy birthday to her tomorrow when it's actually your birthday. And if you're really nice and you're part of the Crimson Cult, you can say happy birthday to her there as well. Yeah, the odds set keeps getting pushed back. Um, so unless they got that one all straightened away, um, then it's going to be something else. Either way, it's going to be like the set should be exciting. Definitely. When I am there, Indy, you are definitely welcome to the B&B because it'll be fun. Need to do Death Week and the Night of the Juggler. What's the difference between the Ultra line and the regular line? Well, the Ultra line will be dual format. Like they will be Blu-ray DVD combo packs. Every one of them is going to have like Blu-ray 4K combo packs. They will be more of a straightforward title as opposed to like a cult title. So they're not going to be like the real, like not going to be like a Spanish horror film, or like a gory slasher film or an adult title. It's not going. That's not what's going to be running. Well, Dale, December like coming up. That's going to be like adult titles only. So for those that were like missing out on some of the adult titles that Vinegar Syndrome are putting out, December is going to be just adult titles. They do tend to, during from the September to November time period, they do kind of tend to push and go towards a lot of like this is when a lot of the revenue comes in. So there's a lot of like horror titles that do really well this time of year. Of course, October's coming up. Everybody's wanting to buy like the new horror films that are out there. Does Vinegar Syndrome have kids films? Well, I guess Rad can be considered a kids film, and the I guess the non-bloody version of like Tam the T-Rex. Honestly, even Tam the T-Rex, the bloody version, isn't that isn't that intense. I would consider them like kids films. Like so, Rad. Yeah, Rad is definitely a kids film. It's a teen film. Um, the VSU thing is going to be the closest we may get to like maybe like their kind of like family line. Yeah, Tam. That's the thing. This is what I'm seeing here. Is we have like kind of an idea of what it's going to be. Do you think VSUs will be previously unreleased on Blu-ray titles? I really do, Ragman. I think that's something that they're going to go for. Something that's never going to be for. Did say that they're not gonna be kind of like going for arty type films. They're gonna like not completely anyway, and not completely not like cult type films either. Um, so you're what this kind of reminds me of is that this may change SJ if you like more mainstream stuff. Um, they're going more. Remember when Arrow was like pretty much giallo and like trauma and like slashers and sexploitation and stuff like that. Remember when Arrow started, and Arrow films, and then there came an Arrow Academy with some more, some more kind of straightforward, more serious stuff. Uh, so I guess in a way, we'll put it this way: Vinegar Syndrome seems to be more going more along the Arrow line, as they branch out, which is good as long as like they stay true to the roots. And the fact that there's a couple slashers coming out, that we're seeing stuff like Who Done It being brought out, that were last month we well, the last couple months have been two Spanish horror films coming out. I don't think that Vinegar Syndrome is like steering away from the roots of what they do. They're just expanding it. Uh, More what you can see, what you can get. Having it therefore, so you'll still get your horror, you'll still get your slasher, you still get your erotica, whichever you're into, whatever your bag is. Uh, but people that want to come in and get things like Rad or maybe Gleaming the Cube, that's obviously an MGM title. That's something that a lot of people thought about. Um, well, Dave, Vinegar Syndrome Ultra, a more semi-mainstream line of UHDs, and my only concern is that this will be their UHDs. Like this will be it. This will be their like Rad type titles and Tammy the T Rex. This is going to be what they put on UHD. That some of the films like the slasher titles or some of the horror titles that a lot of us want to see get 4K releases, they may pass over. I really love the Amityville Curse collection. I actually think that that that's one of their that's one of their best releases, and I thought it was fantastic. And there's no way in hell that Vinegar Syndrome would ever release Clown House. Just so you know, there's a lot of things they'd release. That isn't one of them. Especially now, if Vinegar Syndrome is VSUs are going closer to like more kind of mainstreamy type releases. Uh, that is not a camp that they're going to pitch any attention to. Angel is incredible. Uh, Captain EO. You mean that 3D film that came out in like in Disney? I think that'd be more of a Disney release, uh, maybe eventually. But yeah, it's not gonna be a Vinegar Syndrome release. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Shadow, because I did not know that. I don't go on the Blu-ray forum site that often, often because I do find it. Shadow, know what I'm talking about. It can be a bit of a downer. You know what I mean, Shadow? Um, it said in the Blu-ray forum today that they already have a few 4K releases for 2021 that are non-VSU type titles. So that is the one thing that I did not know, um, that I'm actually super excited about. So thank you. That's a huge sigh of relief for me because that means that we could get some cool Jallo or slasher or horror stuff on 4K, and that's going to be pretty exciting. I do think that there will be some new slips for older releases. I don't know if there'll be as many as they probably planned. Due to the whole like situation that's going on right now. Let's go. Will soon be numerous VS branded UHDs. We have a few planned for 2021 already. They will all be horror or exploitation. So people can breathe a sigh of relief right there with that. If you're, you mean like Kiss and the Phantom of the Park? Is that the one? Psycho Circus was the comic book, wasn't it? And of course, like, do all companies have Black Friday sales? A lot of them do. Sometimes they have them at the same time. When they did the halfway to Black Friday sale for Vinegar Syndrome, Severn did it a week later. I'm not sure if they're. A lot of times their sales go up against each other, but Severin and Vinegar Syndrome often well, I've seen them like coordinate so that their sales don't go directly up against one another, which would be interesting to see if they do this year. Because Severin has been upping their game when it comes to their exploitation releases. Uh, they've they've stepped it up big time, especially this year. This year has been huge for Severin. Um, this has been a huge year for Vinegar. This has been a huge year for physical media. 2020 may have been a crazy year that's been nutty, but if you're a collector, you're stuck in your house because your laps are stuck in your house. Yeah, it's an awesome time for collecting films. There's been more box sets and new releases and sub labels and 4Ks and everything to come out than I could imagine. I never thought I'd be seeing Cruel Jaws come out, or the Al Abson box set. I never thought I'd see this thing come out on 4K, and I actually really love this film. Curious to see if the Severin site will hold up. Well, hopefully it will. Uh, they've worked hard on bringing a new site in. I'm not quite sold on the look of the new site yet for Severin. There's just something about it that I'm not 100% sold on the look of the site. But as long as it works okay, I'm fine with that. See, normally I would say yes, it is incredible sumo that that Vincent is releasing 4Ks before Criterion, but Criterion is notoriously slow when it comes to formats. Criterion were slow when it came to Blu-ray. Uh, Criterion were Criterion started out as an innovator, but it's not something that they've stayed. Uh, they still put out amazing releases that I get very excited about. But they've been slacking off on their commentaries, on the size of their booklets, uh, on keeping up with other companies when it comes to that. Are they on Blood Games? I got to rewatch that. I love Blood Games. It's one of my favorite Vinegar Syndrome releases. If you like me and you like the stuff that I put out on here, then let me tell you this right now. If you don't have Vinegar Syndrome's Blood Games, and when that sale comes up, grab Blood Games. It's a really, really good title. Yeah, no, I'll never like fault like Criterion on a lot of the stuff that they do. I do think I just got a feeling that like their Ingrid Bergman box set is amazing. I cannot fault them on what they did with the Godzilla set. It's incredible, especially considering the limitations that Toho put on them. But I feel like there's you need a new infusion of blood into Criterion. Uh, got to get more forward thinking when it comes to what they're doing. And I know it seems like I'm like pretty much like not I'm ragging on them, but I'm not. It's because I like the company that I say that. Which animated movie would I like to see be curated by Criterion, Arrow, VS, or Severin? Well, somebody mentioned Rock and Rule, which is a one favorite of mine. Hey there, Chris. Welcome. So Rock and Roll is definitely one that I would like to see. Um, there was one. God, what's it called? There's a few that I would like to see, but I'm trying to think of like an animated film. Anybody have any animated films here that they would love to see like get like a Blu-ray or 4K release? Watership Down, Fantastic Planet were put out by Criterion. Plague Dogs has been put out actually, SJ by Shout Select if I remember correctly. Uh, Maybe I'm wrong. Have a great evening there, Dale. Heavy metal is coach is you're reading my mind because heavy metal definitely heavy traffic yes 100%. American Pop that's the one I was trying to remember. I love that film. Heavy metal will go down just so you know is one of my all-time favorites. Uh, I snuck in to see that film. It's not all rope actually, but there's a lot of the stuff. The animated Hobbit. That'd be interesting. Now I think I know that there's a Blu-ray out there for heavy metal, and I think I got it here, but I'm on a 4K, and it's like let's be honest, what heavy metal got a nice Blu-ray release, but there's not a ton on it. It needs a collector's edition release. I want a 4K of heavy metal with the soundtrack, and I'm asking for it here, guys, and lots of features. Unfortunately, some of the actors that have passed away that did voices for it, like obviously John Candy's no longer around, but there are still some actors that are still around that voiced in heavy metal. You can put on part two for like a bonus feature. It's not enough for me, Andy. I'll be honest with you. I have that DVD here. I got the special edition, and maybe I'm greedy, but it was not enough for me. I I'm I'm being honest. Yeah, SJ, you are the first person that has ever mentioned it, and thank you. So SJ, I'm gonna guess is probably around my age. Um, when I lived in Alberta, every Saturday Supercade. I'll assume you there. Saturday Supercade come on, and you got like all these kind of like animated shows that were based on like on arcades, on basically video games. You had like Pac-Man, Donkey Kong Jr., Rubik's the Amazing Cube. It would be, of course, be if you remember this yesterday. In the middle of all these, there'd be Menudo songs playing because Menudo was big back then. That's it was a boy band, guys. If you're too young, then look them up. Uh, but but not right now. Don't leave the video. Look them up. But Saturday Supercade was my childhood. It was my jam. It's like I lived for Saturday Supercade, and it is the hardest thing to find. Like it is the hardest thing to find. You can't find them to buy. You can't find them to even like even through nefarious ways. You can't find them there either. You remember the Littles? The Littles started as a part of ABC's like when they're where they would do like animated editions of like of popular books, and there's was a name for it, ABC like after school special or something like that. And I don't mean like the warning ones, but they did the Littles, and Littles eventually became a TV series, but it was like a special first. I think they did a couple specials, kind of like the Raccoons. If you're Canadian, then you're going to remember, maybe if you're American too, I'm not quite sure if you got it over there, but there's a show here in Canada called The Raccoons. And it started out as like the Raccoons, like in, I think it was a Christmas special. And it was like really popular. So they made another special that kind of like went farther into the Raccoons, like their story. And I don't mean like, there wasn't like, this was an animated thing. And you had like Bert Raccoon and like all these characters, and they were like, and Cyril Sneer, who was the evil like capitalist that was trying to like, but get rid of parts of the forest and put up like big like things, and they were like anyway. So Kevin Gillis did it. He had done like a previously did like a I think an afternoon like workout show called Yes You Can on Canadian television, and the Raccoons became, it was a series of specials he did, and the series went on to become a big series in Canada, which was huge. It lasted for 5 years, and I know it was big in the UK as well. I think they actually have like releases of it in the UK, and they did and was so big that the theme song for the Raccoons, which from the second season on was sang by a girl that actually voiced one of the characters, was a massive hit. It's called "Run with Us." You can find it on YouTube. So it was a pop hit, and it was in the and it like went pretty high in the pop charts. So there's a little bit about behind the scenes of Canadian animation. Thank you. There's so much like out there that a comedian from the movie. No, see, I didn't live in Calgary. I lived in where was it at? I lived in Camrose, Alberta, and after that, I moved to Wetaskiwin, Alberta, which is about 45 minutes drive from Edmonton. So I used to spend a lot of time going to the West Edmonton Mall. Well, the Dracula film put out by Toho was basically, it was kind of like Tomb of Dracula, which is based on like the Marvel comic that was out at the time. Marvel comic and Marvel like magazine. Like, have I seen 10 Burlington Place? I did. I love the film. I actually think it's really well done. It's kind of chilling. Obviously, it's based on a true story. Um, but I definitely think that that's one that everybody should check out. I'm trying to remember the Frankenstein one. I don't remember that one quite as well, but I do remember the Dracula one, and would love to see a good release of both of those. California Raisins on Blu-ray. I remember the California Raisins. From a commercial to a cartoon series. Nightbreed is in the back. You probably can't see it there, but it's in the background over there. I got the special edition. I'm a big fan of Nightbreed. My daughter actually, I got her a copy of the Ultimate Edition of Nightbreed too, which is ironic because a lot of people found my channel when I was complaining about the Nightbreed like Scream Factory release. Found some Canadian animation. The minor. I remember the minor leagues. Black Crowes playing baseball. Yeah, I'm. But the thing that I most want, this is really off topic here, like Canadian wise, that I'm still waiting to come out, is a TV series. I want to see who else is going to know this. Called Seeing Things. She's like, I'm glad you like Night Killer. That's one I do want to talk about during the 31 Days Horror, Dustin. So be here for that one. I did like Lord of Illusions. I thought it could have been better, but I liked what they did with it. Night Killer was put up by Severin Videodrome, and it's definitely worth checking out. It's an insane film, and I mean that in the best possible way. You can't do that on television. They did like an American edition of that too, didn't they? Because I'm guessing you guys got that over on Nick. Lord of Illusion sequel. You love Night Killer. Excellent. Because I'm not sure if you read the Scarlet Gospels, Dan, but oh Daniel, the Scarlet Gospels. What's my opinion on the animated Hobbit and Lord of the Rings films? I mean, they're okay. Like they were good for the time that they were done in. Obviously, Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings films are the definitive on that. Um, but I'll take the Hobbit animated film over the Hobbit films any day. I do think that if there is a disappointment out there, like in the last 10 years, the Hobbit films are definitely on the high disappointment list. I actually love Brazil. I like a lot of the quirky, like unusual films. Um, so you'll always see me like watching stuff like that. Now, Dungeons and Dragons, as far as I know, SJ has only gotten a DVD release so far, and I think they did the complete series. I'm not quite sure, but I'm pretty sure they did it a while back. But it's never gotten a Blu-ray release. And to be honest with you, the show never finished really. So, which is a shame. That's like parts of Blackwater, another cartoon that was really good that never finished. So for those of you that are new here, um, I watch everything, as you can probably tell from right here. I watch everything from Z grade stuff to film noir to animation. So that's there are people out there where no, not snuff. that's just that's where and is that even real? We assume it's real from like movies and thrillers, but in actuality, hopefully not. Let's hope it's not. Maze of Monsters. There's another good one, Tom Hanks. Actually, me and my better half were just talking about Zardoz the other night. We're saying that we need to watch it. That's one that we're looking to. That's one that eventually you're probably going to see us do on our on the Patreon channel because she's been wanting to watch Zardoz for a while. Zardoz got a Blu-ray through Arrow Video. Do I think Nickelodeon, Netflix will ever release Rocco's Modern Life, Static Cling movie on DVD? Eventually. There's a lot of like nostalgia for for Nickelodeon stuff right now. So yeah, I do. And I'm big on the Hollywood superhero stuff. No, there's some good stuff. Don't be Zardoz. Zardoz is fun. It's weird, but it's fun, and it's something that like you really can kind of like. It's not hard to get into. You think it would be, but it's really not. Zardoz 4K. I could see that. Actually, Arrow's did like King of like a King New York in 4K, which was one they put out before. So I could definitely see them putting out Zardoz in 4K. Let's not hold Exorcist 2 against them. He did other great films. I could see Zardoz being. It'd be hard. Like, who would you get? Like, to if you were remaking Zardoz, like, who would you get to remake that film, and who would star in it, and who would wear that damn outfit? Because, yeah, yeah. If I ever can get it like super cheap, I'll get the Extras 2 one. But I will never buy. That's not one that's like says like I'm gonna put $30 on Extras 2. That ain't gonna happen. Eddie Izzard. Yeah, it's not a bad. Yeah, okay. Not bad casting, Groggy. Willem Dafoe too. There's another one. Oh, Willem Dafoe would do. Oh my God, he would. You think Dennis Villeneuve would direct it? I don't think he. I don't know. Maybe, but no. If he did, it would be way too long. Like it would get like super long, and it'd be like 3 hours long. And then he'd like break it into two films, like he's doing with Doom. After $35 for a creep show, you refuse to spend 29 for stuff like Sleepwalkers, Extras 2, 3, Psycho 2, The Mangler. See, I don't mind. For like a new release, there's like 25, $29 if it's a good collector's edition. Definitely. See, the creep show like here in I'm not sure if you're in Canada, but creep show here in Canada is like $30 at Walmart right now. So that's what I think is a really good price for that. And during a certain time, during on Amazon, it actually went down to $20 for a bit, and I managed to grab it then. Like there's a lot of stuff that's out there that you just gotta watch. Like what I do, and this is what I recommend if you're looking for stuff. I know the Creepshow animated series. I'm actually really excited. Animated special. I'm actually excited for. On October 26th, Shudder is going to be showing Creepshow animated special, and already people have been complaining about it because I didn't like Creepshow that much. And I was tough, I guess. I actually really like the Creepshow TV series. I found some episodes were uneven, but it's an anthology series, kind of what an anthology does. Um, but I'm excited about it, and it's one of the reasons I'll actually get Shutter back. Now I haven't had it for the last couple months. No, I actually, Daniel, I haven't had Shutter for a while. Oh, by the way, I guess I should mention this. because I didn't do a video on it. I do apologize. I got a couple releases from Mill Creek that I'm going to be reviewing here in the very near future, and I am super excited about them. Do you guys mind waiting for a minute? Like for me to grab something? Like if I go, you guys gonna stay here, right? You're not gonna leave me. So I'm gonna run as fast as my old body can run, and I'll be right back. Oh, thanks for waiting. Neither. So Mill Creek sent me a couple releases that are going to be released on. Sorry, I'm out of breath. October 13th, and I will be reviewing them here on the channel, both in separate their own videos and on during live as well. But I'm going to ask you to please watch my review. It's only going to be short, but it's something that I'm very excited about, being able to review some stuff. So I got Imaginary Crimes and Silent Fall. It's a double feature, and they're both Morgan Creek releases. And the one that I'm really super excited about, and I think you'll be too actually, is this one right here, the one I'm holding in my hands right now. And this one I'm going to be talking about, but this could have easily been like a Halloween 31 Days Horror type one. And this is a triple feature with the remake of Diabolique, Incognito, which I have not seen in years, and finally on Blu-ray, The In Crowd. So this is a triple feature put up by Mill Creek. It's coming out on October 13th. And I am super stoked about this one. I'm going to be reviewing all of these. The In Crowd is a personal favorite of mine, so if you're trying to get special cool points for that, I actually love the film. Actually, have a great day there, John. But Incognito's been so long, I don't remember it. I think he's like an art like forger. Jason Patrick stars in it. And Diabolique I watched. So I've watched Diabolique. That's the one that I watched so far. I'm going to watch the other two so that I can actually do like a good review on them. And I will say this. I have an old like DVD of Diabolique. And yeah, this is a triple feature, but it blows the DVD definitely out of the water. It looks amazing. The Diabolique film, like the remake, has like a motif of water that's being used throughout the throughout the film. And if you've ever seen Diabolique, either the original or the remake, you're gonna know why. Hey there, Mike. Water is used and is a big part of the film. There's this, and at the beginning of the film, there's a like we see this like the rain and the pool, and which will become very very big in in the film, and it looks really good. I mean, I was really kind of taken aback that how good the film looked. It had been so long since I'd seen it. It's very different from the original film. You can't beat Clouseau, like we know that, but it goes in a different way, in a way that's definitely different enough to that it's its own thing, and you can enjoy it for that. But I don't want to say too much now because I do want to actually do a good review on this triple feature here. I will be reviewing the triple feature, Diabolique, Incognito, and the In Crowd. Um, hey there, Bernard. Welcome, man. And I recommend this one. Uh, it is a Region A release, so I do, but there is a code in here for their streaming service called Movie Spree. So also, if you like Sharon Stone, she's in this one. Though she's not, she doesn't do any of her like her prerequisite like nudity, because she had an argument with the director who had wanted her to do a nude scene and she refused. But that's made up for by Isabella Adjani, who does not mind getting nude in the film. Yes, actually, Dungeon Studios, it is Vinegar Syndrome Ultra, where they're going to be doing a UHD line. Oh no, don't worry. You see, there's nudity in the film. It may not be Sharon Stone, but I can tell you right now, it is quality, quality nudity. But it will be more along the lines of stuff like this, like Tame the T-Rex, Rad, films like, not announced or anything like that, but like things like Gleaming the Cube. I don't know, maybe River's Edge, stuff like that. You'll see on their Vinegar Syndrome Ultra line. So they're gonna be 4K releases, more not so much horror, but more mainstream than stuff that we get now. But don't worry, they will still be doing 4K releases of horror and exploitation titles that won't be under the VSU line. It's just another line that they're doing, much like VSA is the Vinegar Syndrome Archives line, VSU is the Vinegar Syndrome Ultra line. They're going to be Ultra UHD releases for some of the some of their more mainstream. I wouldn't say mainstream, but yeah, more mainstream, more like get a lot of eyes focused on the titles. So that's the VSU announcement. So amazing stuff. And tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, they will be making the big Black Friday announcement. No Vinegar Syndrome University yet. I'm Mike. I'll have be the closest thing to the Vinegar Syndrome University that you get for a while. So I apologize, but you're gonna have to put up with me as the Vinegar Syndrome University. I do agree. Johnny is definitely a beast of an actress. She is amazing, and she's incredible in everything she does. They try to make her look more like demure and dowdy in Diabolique, but it's really hard to do because she is gorgeous. She's a stunning woman. Like, yeah, there's something not possible. They do their best, and she does an amazing acting job to like kind of like she changes throughout the film. Not as much as she changes in Possession, obviously, but yeah, this here I will be looking into. Other films that uh, are coming up. So just so you know, in October, throughout sometime in October, because I can't review these until October. Um, I will be doing reviews on Camp Twilight. You guys are gonna look these up. Sweet Taste of Souls. And I'll show you the picture of it right there, which is a horror comedy. And one called By Night's End, which I am very excited to watch. Uh, Let me know what you think of Tombstone Rashomon. See if you liked it, if you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. I was unsure going in, but I'm very intrigued by Night's End, uh, which is coming out on October 6th, apparently. So I can actually start like watching that one and getting the review ready for that one. Uh, Sweet Souls is not coming until October 21st, so I can't like. I'm gonna be watching that, but I won't be able to review that one anytime soon. And I got to check on when Camp Twilight is coming out as well. But Camp Twilight is kind of horror comedy. Sweet Souls is definitely a horror comedy, and By Night's End is definitely a suspense film. Hopefully, it looks like a white knuckler, which I actually like. Professor Penn's pens. Oh, there's an idea. Or pins. Time for tea. Cult of Cinema. I would like to see pins, like Cult of Cinema pins. Yeah, well, yes. Whenever somebody comes in here, Bernard, you always got a new Cult of Cinema welcome. Pastor 57 is a fun film. Oh, you watched the interview that with Daisuke that I did? We're hoping to do another one sometime in November, just so you know. Um, I'll be on with Cinema Dave on Sunday morning. He does the Sunday live show, which has been incredible, by the way. I've watched every one of them, and he's had better people on than me. but I'll be doing like a Sunday live show with Cinema Dave, unless something happens. Hopefully, here this Sunday. So on the 27th, Sunday, if you guys are around, pop in and check it out for sure. Your mother worked for the attorney in New Jersey that owned the lake land where Friday the 13th was filmed. That's awesome. It has been like Razor. Like you've been, um, it's been good to be a part of, and it's like it's brought out, and I have to say it's really brought out uh like a new like aspect to our to the whole like YouTube community. Mid level media. Did you know? I was watching your videos last night, man. Middle level media does a lot of like these hunting videos. Like basically goes out and he looks at a lot of like didn't think I knew your channel, did you? And he looks at a lot of especially like steel books and releases like that who go to places like Target and Best Buy and Walmart. He did like the was it the half price books or the Hampton Books challenge where he went in and see what he could find there. Um, Really good channel, which you guys should subscribe to. So you guys don't realize I'm actually watching channels, but yeah, I'm watching and I'm subscribed. I do watch like you guys on here. A lot of guys on here have channels. I I don't always get to watch them when I want to, but I do try to get to watch your channel. Now, someone just needs to interview Daisuke. That's it. One of these times we'll switch it around, and I'll interview him because he's fascinating. Uh, but he is such a good interviewer. I don't know if I'd be able to do it in the way that he does it. This is a skill that he is very, very talented at. It is impossible to keep up razor wire. I mean, like it takes me so long. I'll get some, and I have so many like I put in my watch list, and then what I end up doing is I end up like binging. So last night I was up to 4:30 in the morning, binging. Um, but if I yeah, So it looks like everybody at this point is pretty excited about the VSUs, or at least excited about what Vinegar Syndrome has coming out um, in the near future. If even if you're not excited about the VSUs, you're probably excited about the slasher title. Razor Wire, Luke, are you excited about like? Do you get Vinegar Syndrome? Are you going to be grabbing any of the looking at grabbing any of the titles for the Black Friday sale? Now that I think they lowered international shipping price. I'm not quite sure what it is, but they lowered the international shipping price. American Werewolf, the I Spit in Your Grave set looks gorgeous. Somebody told me, like, said, you know, don't buy the I Spit in Your Grave set that's out like the remakes because there's a really nice set coming out. But I said, I'm not sure. I Spit in Your Grave. I've seen it so many times. And then, like, I saw the set and it looks gorgeous. Could I convince you? Could I, like, is there a Vinegar Syndrome title that could convince you to get you over to like, get you over to the dark side? I was utterly blown away that 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 Rad was such a huge deal. I had no idea. Like, I'll be honest, like I watch a lot of films, but no kidding. But no idea that Rad was going to be that big of a deal. Because when they announced Rad, I'll be the first person to say I was wrong. I was underwhelmed by the announcement of Rad, and they're like, "We're putting on Hal Needham's Rad," and I'm like, "Okay." And then I read more on it, and I saw it, and I saw the cult of Rad. Not even joking. That's kind of a thing. There's a Facebook page, thousands upon thousands of people that are like really into this film. And I'm like, I got to get that film. The Our Werewolf Alone was your favorite release of last year. That's one I missed out on. Like, it's insane the price of Red. I should have bought two copies of Red, apparently. Christmas Evil, Craig, you're right, is something everyone should see because it is a fun film. It's the most Christmassy Christmas horror movie of all. We had a quarter of your life for a 1 year's release. Did you narrate it during? Yeah. Arrow puts out such great stuff. I mean, like, we can't, like, they have pretty much, between Arrow and Indicator, they've totally taken over. Uh, the biggest name labels, like, right now, when it comes to that. Waterworld set. I got the Waterworld set. That is gorgeous. Um, what do I think of Severed Arm? Actually, Coach, I botched it on not getting Severed Arm because I thought, and I'll be honest with you, um, I really didn't hated the look of the slipcover. So I'm like, it's not gonna be very good, and I regret it because like the inside cover, like away from the slip, is excellent, and like I literally Severed Arm is probably the one that where I'm like, I don't need the slipcover for Severed Arm, but I do want to see the movie. It does look really good. The Varda set is also on my list. That's something I'm probably going to pick up next year. Agnes Varda is a director I'm very interested in. Indicators Road Games looks excellent. Uh, Obviously, it's going to put the Scream Factory one to shame. But if it's going to see how many we got to see how many features coming out for that. I got the Umbrella release of Road Games. Hey there, Emily. Are you excited about VSU? No, no. Mid level. You're thinking of Mind Games. So Mind Games is Maxwell Caulfield from Scream 2, and of course The Boys Next Door. Road Games is Stacy Keach and Jamie Lee Curtis, and that was put out by Scream Factory in North America, and by Umbrella Entertainment in the UK because in Australia because Mind Games is actually sorry, Mind Games. Road Games is Australian release. I gotta catch up on those Varda videos. I haven't seen those yet because I'm excited about that set. Like that's the set I want. Only Black Friday sale you want is Lindsay Baker's set. That's an amazing set. I recommend that to everybody. It's definitely an incredible, incredible set. Umbrella recently started a new label, Sunburnt Films. I didn't know that actually. So that's the first I've heard of it, Cinematech. So thank you. I would like to get like down the road. I like to get some of those imprint releases. They look really good. I've seen like Brian Sauer has like the Just the Disc, not just podcast, but the Pure Cinema podcast, and now the Just This YouTube channel as well. And the first one he did, he showed some imprint titles. So I would love to get some of those imprint titles, some of those Australian imprint titles. Uh, what I think the slasher title would be. Everybody's saying like different things. Like some people think it's gonna be Home Sweet Home, which is okay. That's an okay rule. I want it to be like either Girls Night Out or oh god, yeah, Girls Night Out or He Knows You're Alone. But I think it's probably gonna be Home Sweet Home. An entire label for Australian New Wave films. I haven't watched a lot of Shutter exclusives because I haven't had uh, them in a while. Oh yeah, Umbrella Entertainment. They do a lot of really good cult films. If you haven't checked out their stuff, they do amazing stuff. Their edition of, let me see if I got it here. I'm trying to see if I can. Oh, I'll show you. This is Umbrella Films, and this is a relief of the incredible Fair Game, which everybody should see. It's a great Australian film. And there's like a ton of features on here: audio commentaries, extended interviews, behind the scenes from 1985, location sets, short films. And if you like oh, it's a really cool film. What region is this one? It's region. It's all regions. So as you can see, there's the ABC logo right there, which is what you want to see if you're getting something from another region. Now some of them are locked in, like this. Their Umbrella released a body double, which came out like long before the other body doubles came out. This one is rated. This one is Region B, so it depends on the one that you get. Uh, but this was like an earlier like release. But just look into it before you buy them. But Fair Game was one that I can tell you is region free, and I would 110% recommend this film. It's an excellent little film, and I find that the more Australian cinema that I watch, especially Australian genre cinema, the more I actually fall in love with their filmmaking. If you haven't seen it, the That's Exploitation documentary is 110% recommended and called cinema approved. So it's one that I recommend that you check out. If you live in Canada, you can often find it at your local Sunrise Records there in the 250 bin. Some features on Fair Games not region free. That's weird, actually. Oh, Picnic. I like Picnic at Hanging Rock a lot. I haven't seen the TV series like based on it yet, but Picnic at Hanging Rock is actually a really good one. You watched 2 dozen movies that you were not aware of because of my channel. Thank you. Hopefully you enjoyed them. Hopefully those are two movies that you enjoyed. Because I hate to think I gave you 2 dozen horrible films. Hey there, Jason. Car City Paris. Did Umbrella put that out? Did anybody put that one out? See, there's a lot of really good stuff that comes out from from Australia. Like they're the only place that I know that we could go and grab like the Andy Warhol films, like Dracula and Frankenstein, Flesh for Frankenstein, Andy Warhol's Dracula. Those were put out like on like I think on Cult Classics or something like that. One of the cult labels over in Australia, which is utterly fantastic to be able to get that stuff. I would love to see those get like new releases. Peter Weir's The Last Wave. It's a good film. I mean, I got the Criterion DVD of Last Wave. Uh, I mean, they're different. I mean, Warhol is definitely like more of like it's more like it's it's more artsy and cult and pop oriented. They're gonna be kind of pushing the boundary of good taste over the edge. Um, that's what Warhol's known for. There's a line in Flesh for Frankenstein, and if you can be down, I can't say the line on my channel, but if you can be down with that line in Flesh for Frankenstein that Warhol, that Dr. Frankenstein says, then you can watch any Warhol film. I'm actually excited to see what Imprint comes out with next. They're a company to watch for. Right now, I think that if you haven't, oh, news by the way, if you have yet to pick up or pre-order the Fu Manchu cycle set that's coming up from Indicator, highly recommend it. Uh, they just recently announced that there is going to be added onto it, as opposed to, well, there's a ton of features already, but added onto the many features on that Fu Manchu set is going to be a 84-minute interview, not an audio interview, a video interview done with Christopher Lee, the man himself, and that was done by Guardians, an 84-minute long interview talking about it. So definitely worth checking out. What's the Vincent news? Well, VSU is Vinegar Syndrome Ultra. It's a 4K label, a brand new label from Vinegar Syndrome that'll deal with more like not horror or erotica, but deal more like films like these, more not middle of the road, not really mainstream, not really like cult. The Imprint's putting out their first box set, of course, with the film noir, so that's going to be interesting to check out as well. Yeah, Andy Warhol stuff is challenging to say the least. But with that being said, guys, at 83 minutes, it's that time again. I am starving. I think I'm gonna make myself uh, a couple pizza wraps actually, because healthy, right? I am Aaron. If this is your first time coming in, thank you so much. I hope you come back. Welcome to the Cult of Cinema. This is my movie library. I'm glad you had a great time yesterday. I hope everybody here has had a great time. You are the Cult of Cinema. You guys rock. I'll be doing a video soon about the announcements. I'll let you guys know ahead of time before that's done. If you haven't checked out my Patreon stuff yet, check it out. I got some great stuff on there. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome, and because of you guys, me and my better half are making more videos. And the family that makes videos together has fun. They have lots of fun. It's time for tea. I will see you soon, and we'll be talking more about Vinegar Syndrome once those announcements come out. Warlock, you met. Go back to the beginning, but I know you know what the Vinegar Syndrome Ultra is all about because you always know this stuff. Have a great day.